Hello students, welcome to today's class. In our previous class, we took a look at the categories of human rights. In this lesson, we are going to be looking at the topic fighting political apathy. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the meaning of political apathy and also be able to talk about some of the ways of fighting political apathy, e.g. knowing and defending our rights, participation in election, joining popular organization, etc. Let us first of all start by looking at the definition of political apathy. Political apathy can be defined as lack of interest in taking part in political activities. It is an attitude or behavior suggesting no interest or enthusiasm about any aspect of political activities by citizens, like election, campaign, and rallies, civic responsibilities, etc. So what that simply means is that political apathy is a situation whereby the citizens, gradually begin to start showing no interest. When you talk about anything politics, you talk about anything that has to do with politics, they just tell you, I'm not interested. So when that attitude is now in a group of people residing in a country, we can regard that as political apathy. Political apathy is not one of those things that are encouraging because it does not help democracy. And that is the reason we are going to be looking at ways of fighting it to ensure it doesn't gain ground. Because political apathy is an anti-progressive and consequently hinder the development and growth of any nation, everything practically possible that can bring back people's interest and make them to participate in politics must be done. The following can go a long way in helping to curb political apathy. One of that is knowing and defending our rights. Apart from understanding the democratic system itself, people should be made to be aware of their rights and duties and wholeheartedly perform their duties as expected of them. So one way is to ensure that you groom a people that will know their rights, and then they will also know how to defend their rights. And of course, when there is right, there will also be duties. So those who know their rights, you will not force them to do what is expected of them. Number two is participation in election. The participation of citizens in the electoral process of a country is one of the ways to fight political apathy. So when all citizens are now fully involved in political activities, when everybody have come to understand the importance of election, because it is the process whereby selections are made, that will possibly be either in the interest of the country or against the interest of the country. The only way you can prevent individual interest from taking predominance is to ensure that majority of people are interested in politics and they express their interest through participation in electoral process, in being members of political party, in giving themselves to run for any political offices. By so doing, we would have been able to reduce political apathy to the barest minimum. 3 is joining popular organization. The journey of political organizations such as trade union, political parties, civil societies, pressure group, etc. will help to stimulate the interest of members in taking part in activities concerning political, socio-economic, and socio-cultural development of the country. So when people begin to join, either a union, political parties, civil society, pressure group, all of this has a way it stimulates the interest of the people, because they get to know more why they engage themselves via meetings, via engaging candidates, maybe during election, via attending very important meetings, and sometimes they are also made members of special committees set up by the state government. So by so doing, they get to understand more about politics, and that also have a way it helps to kind of provide one of such government that will become very responsible, and as such, political apathy would have been reduced to size. Another thing is that reduction of poverty. When people are poor, they do not have interest or time for political activities, as they toil from dusk to dawn trying to make ends meet. Therefore, an attempt should be made by the government to reduce the poverty level of the people. So another way to fight political apathy is to ensure that the people are not poor. Like they say that a hungry man is an angry man. And of course, anybody who is hungry will not think well, will not be after wanting to sit down to look at anything in the interest of anything. When a man is hungry, the first thing he wants is food. It's after he may have eaten that he can now begin to start reasoning in the direction you will expect of him. So government is expected to come in to ensure that the poverty rate of the people are reduced to the barest minimum, so we can have a lot of people showing interest in political activities. By so doing, what is known as political apathy would have been addressed. Another one is good governance. In order for political apathy to be fought, the people that are elected into various political positions or offices by the citizen should govern well by fulfilling their political promises. This is another vital aspect of it. People lose or lost interest in politics simply because they have voted a lot of people into power, and at the end of the day, they are not really seeing the purpose for which they were out there to cast their vote. I personally have asked myself times without number, a situation whereby you see old persons, old men, old women, people who have of age. You see them during election, they are under the sun, some of them under the rain, they are with umbrella, trying to shield themselves from the rain and the sun as well. And all they do is to ensure that they are able to cast their vote in the interest of a particular candidate that they have presumed will be able to serve or do better. Sometimes it becomes very disappointing when, after this has been done, the person elected, instead of working in the interest of those who took risk, who put their health at stake to ensure that they vote in these people, they just begin to start acting as though it doesn't matter, it doesn't count. So people often the time, when they come to the conclusion that yesterday it appears my suffering was in vain, then the next day, whenever election is called again, they will just lose interest. This is also one of the reason for political apathy. So the only way we can solve this is to ensure that those that are elected into office, they should understand the purpose for which they were elected, and then they should step up by doing what the people expect of them, so that the people will have confidence in them. And by so doing, whenever election is called upon next time, people will be willing to come out in mass to come and cast their vote. But when you disappoint them, of course, the opposite will be the case. The other one is 6. Other ways of fighting political apathy include the creation of political awareness by the government through various media, and the citizens striving to know what is going on in their political system by reading political literature and watching political documentaries. So it's also very important that citizens themselves engage themselves by reading vital documents that kind of speak volume of what is expected in government. The more you read, the more you get enlightened, and the more you get informed, and then the more you are able to know what is expected of you. Your mind also will be well positioned to function in a certain way that will help develop the country when it comes into the area of you scrutinizing policies and also contributing your quota to ensure that progress is recorded. So government also in their own way should also come here. Unfortunately, we see our government, or rather our government officials, during election, they come often on TV during election to talk to the people, to tell them to come out in mass to come out and cast their vote. But after election, you will not see any of that again. INEC also have officials that will come to television stations during election to educate people, educate voters on how they should cast their vote, what they need to do. But after election, you will not see any of this again. So I think educating the people as to what is needed, as to what is expected of them, should be a continuous thing. So the people continuously must be seeing a program on TV that is reminding them of their responsibility, their role in promoting good governance. Then the more they get to know this and the more they are informed, then they themselves will also begin to start kind of preparing themselves to do better than they may have been doing. At this point, we will bring this class to an end. This is all we are going to take in this lesson. In our next lesson, we'll look at another topic. I'll see you in my next class.